Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJ and TV. Good evening and welcome to tonight's show from DJ and TV, District News TV. Tonight's show is brought to you by and the DJ and TV Insiders. Hey, this is John Young here with the Disc Jockey News. It looks like, is my video? Okay, there we go. I think we're back. We've got, had just a little bit of lag issue going on here. Hey, in this segment tonight, we're going to be looking at some things that, let me give you the actual title of what we're going to be looking at, options for mobile entertainers. We're going to really talk about a few things that mobile entertainers are doing out there in the field right now. And you guys are going to share some of the things you have seen in the comments and such, because there's a lot of neat things that people have been doing right now. And there's a couple of things that they're doing and working on, and that's to talk about in this show. It's not going to be a super long show tonight. We just wanted to just give you some things to think about. And then in our second show tonight, Dan and I are going to be digging into the whole concept of, for those of you who are kind of a small full-time DJ company, say you were a single op and you were full-time, a lot are thinking about, okay, so what do I need to do to diversify my portfolio for success in the future? So we're not having a situation like we are right now where you had all your eggs in one basket as a DJ and then there's no income. So that's our second show for tonight. This week, just to give you a heads up, tomorrow night we're actually going to not be doing the Tuesday Night with Ben Stowe show because a lot of you probably have seen the whole tribute to Prince thing that's going on tomorrow night from the Grammys. It looks like it's going to be a really good show, so we're going to skip that and then come in with the 10 o'clock Eastern show. So you guys can hang out and watch that coming up tomorrow night on CBS. It looked like a really kind of a neat show. It was recorded back in January, so it was all done before this whole thing came out. So people actually were together. So that'll be tomorrow night. And then Wednesday, I believe we're going to have another live show or two. We're going to be scaling back on the show here for the next few weeks because everybody's live streaming. Everybody's doing their thing. We're going to just go to a fewer live shows in the evening, but we're going to be focusing on spending time in that chill room, the djntv.com/chill room. That's where you can pretty much go any time of the day. In the evenings, it's usually manned by one of us. Again, djntv.com/chill. Then later in the week, Friday night, we're actually going to be doing an 80s music show, but we're going to be doing it from the other side in the in our broadcast area where we're going to be doing a virtual prom. And that'll be something I'll talk about here in tonight's show. But that'll be coming up Friday nights, our 80s night, testing the system, and then Saturday will be our virtual prom, which is for area schools. So to get into tonight's show, I want to start the chat area up so I can see who is with it, and if you guys got comments, I'll pop into that field. I see Howie and Gus are with. Thank you so much. The Personas, we actually have got 3 or 4 different Personas interfaces, and I loved it until they changed one of the apps that we had on the Mac. When they changed the app, it would not function the way it used to. And when it used to, we could tweak it. We could get a lot of volume out of it and a lot of sound. Couldn't do that after the software update. So I was really kind of bummed about that. So I think one of them is hiding behind a computer here. One of them is over there, an 8-channel one. And then there's one sitting in a box somewhere. Great. Thanks, Gus, for that chill room. Again, djntv.com/chill. Okay, so tonight's show. Looking at options, if you've been following on Facebook, a lot of people are doing a lot of different things. First off, there's two different areas that I want to have you think about tonight. And the first one is this is an opportunity for branding. getting your name out there. This is a situation where there's very little money flowing right now, if any at all, especially in the entertainment world. And it's time to think about, how do you get your name out there? How can you do things to help serve your community and get your name out? As an example, there was a local business who went and they bought 100 lunches from a local restaurant, and then they took these to the local hospital, and actually to the hospital and the nursing home, to cover the staff for the day. And that became a photo op, and it became something they could send the pictures into all the local newspapers, and it was something that was talked about. Well, now we're talking not only about the restaurant, which is great, that business that bought all those lunches, people are talking about that business. Their name is out there. Yes, in this particular case, it probably cost them about $700 to do. That's kind of on the expensive side. But that concept, being able to do something that can serve people. You've probably seen the news segments. It seems like every day there's another person who turns 90 or 100 or whatever it is, and they're doing a drive-by procession. There's things that can be done utilizing some of these, serving the neighborhood, what type of ideas that could help get your name out there as a mobile entertainment company. Some DJs out there are going and they're actually playing. They're setting up in a cul-de-sac and playing for the neighborhood. Musicians are going and setting up, and they're spacing themselves out, so the band is all playing there 6 feet apart, and they're playing to the neighborhood. Things such as this have become really kind of a big way for people to get their name out there, and half the time they're getting coverage from some sort of a media outlet, which is really kind of cool. Whether it's a local newspaper or a local kind of a blog thing that covers the neighborhood or the area, or television. We've seen a lot of these things on television. Some DJs have gone to the point of actually setting up a trailer similar to a parade float, and they've gone into neighborhoods and are actually going into a neighborhood and playing for half an hour, playing some family-friendly music and one of our new sponsors, Bubble Parties, bubbleparties.com, Rob and the crew have been going out and doing some things where the Bubble Man is going into that neighborhood and doing some things, and they've got the bubble machines going, and they could have a trailer back there. One of the parades that we did, Lori wanted to have that bubble machine going on the parade route, and it was incredible how people thought that was so much fun. So there's things that a person can do, and to be able to not only go and maybe brighten somebody's day in the community, but to go and help them to break that boredom of the day. And in some cases, they'll remember who you were. Not all the cases, but some cases, it will help you to get your branding and name out there. Okay, so. Another way to get your name out there a little bit and to kind of help is, we've all seen DJs who are out there spinning in many cases, sometimes for their friends on Facebook, but most cases they're spinning out there for other DJs, which a lot of our friends are DJs. And I get that. But there are opportunities to go and spin and play music for some local groups. Maybe you've got a local chamber of commerce or something, and you could connect with say, hey, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go and spin something for the town and just have kind of a backyard party for the town where people can go and you can make it customized to your community, and you could do a virtual event, and hopefully the chamber would be able to share that and get that out there. And then maybe you could give some shout outs to some of the businesses and do some things where you're able to, or maybe using this as a fundraiser. Okay, we're going to do a fundraiser virtual dance for our local fire department. There's kind of creative ways to be able to do this live streaming thing and to be able to connect with your local community, your local newspapers, whatever. Connect with these things so they help you reach some of these people in the town. Generally, because you're a DJ, you should have the gear to be able to play a variety of music, and you should hopefully have the interfaces and such, like we talked that personas thing, to be able to have a good quality live stream sound. Then it's just a question of finding something that you can help support, i.e. fundraiser for the fire department or what have you, and then just introduce that to the community and go through some channels to be able to utilize that as a fundraiser for them. So there's many ways to use it. You can use Zoom and go with a Zoom way and be able to live stream through Zoom. The problem is anyone who's watching has to have a Zoom, not an account, but they have to have Zoom on their device. So that's a little bit of a limiting factor. You can stream to YouTube, and that's what we're actually going to do Friday and Saturday night. We're going to use YouTube to stream. But as soon as the show's over, it's going to get blocked. I just know it will. So we're going to stream, show's over, delete it, and then we're good. You can stream out to Twitch, and Twitch right now is similar, but you can stream out to Twitch, twitch.tv, and have your feed there. I'm not super well versed in Twitch, but I can schedule a Zoom event, or excuse me, I can schedule a YouTube event and be able to share that link in advance. I don't know if I can share, I just have to share my channel on Twitch, the way it seems to me. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I think that's the case. Then the other spot that's kind of an intriguing one is MixClub. MixClub introduced here in the last 24 hours that they're going to have a way to do live streaming music. And the key thing with it is that it's not going to be blocked. You're going to be paying them for this capability, but then you're going to stream your video content and your music content, and the royalties and such are going to be going to the people, to the artists and things that would have typically just laid claim to your YouTube video. So now we have 3 real different options. I'll be doing Twitch on Friday and Saturday, and I'm going to be doing YouTube. YouTube's the one I'm going to be sharing. Twitch will be my backup, and we'll see what happens and how that works out. But I'm really kind of intrigued with the MixCloud thing, because that could be an area in which we can do our things. And there was talk of it is if it goes well enough that they're going to be able to start sharing some revenue back with the creators, which would be kind of cool. YouTube doesn't do that. When they have a video that you put a video up, and if it has some content in there, they will go and they will distribute that, and pretty much most of any revenue goes to the label or the whoever put that claim on your video, and you don't get virtually anything, if anything at all. Whereas if it was a MixClub, it might be a different story. Facebook, of course, you live stream to Facebook and they shut you down. Live stream to Facebook, they shut you down. After a while, they get tired and then they ban you for a week. And you can ask a lot of DJs, you'll notice that those numbers of Facebook streams are going down. It's because a lot of them are being blocked and such out there. So, okay. So branding's a big thing to do right now. So you want to have that opportunity to do some branding. So getting away from the branding, let's talk about the business side for just a little bit. This is going to be something we're going to look at more in the next show, but this is a time to spend much time on it, to update the social media, to go in and get your website probably redone. You could do a whole redo of your website right now, and it's not going to cause too much problem, because people are kind of shopping around and looking around, but not so much. So if your website was down for a few hours, it's probably not going to be the end of the world. Compared to in October, November, December timeframe, if your website's down, it could be more catastrophic to you. So maybe a website, maybe setting up your DJ event planner system, going in there and actually setting up forms properly and spending some time with that. DJ event planner is a great tool, and it's just a few dollars a month. You can go in there and get things set up and use it at a high level, but there's a learning curve to it. This is the time you can do things like that to really streamline your business. And we're going to talk more about that in the next show, because of how those tools can help you as a part-time DJ to move beyond that. So even polka gets shut down. Well, Reggie, actually, that's just people with good taste that shut that down. Just kidding. We used to play a lot of polkas here in the central part of Minnesota. Okay, so the final thing I want to talk about in this little, again, it's going to be a fairly short video, is looking at and preparing for options in your entertainment. We've all, we've got our beautiful wedding systems that we do when we have these large, elaborate, and usually we have kind of this good size system, and we go bigger is what our options are. I'm going to kind of challenge you to think about that we may be stuck playing or having weddings of 50 people or less between now and mid-2021. There's talk that a couple of companies are actually looking at not planning anything until 2022. And this talk is going around the country right now. There's actually one major company that has canceled all of their international and domestic events. They do training of their staff, and they fly people around, and they have management things here and there. They've canceled them all through August of 2021. That means that this company, which is a Fortune 500 company, is pretty confident that things aren't going to be safe for them to do things. With that being said, smaller weddings. It's time to think that micro wedding system, that smaller sound system for 50 guests, maybe put together a package for maybe a 2 or 3 hour block instead of a traditional wedding. Take a look at some of the things that have gone on with weddings. There have been weddings going on right now. This past weekend, there was one that they were showing on the news. And in the church, it was the pastor, it was the couple, it was the best man, matron of honor, and I believe 2 or 3 of the parents. That was it. So there were under 10 people in the church. They came out of the church, and their guests and family and friends had surprised them. They were all kind of out in the parking lot and out in the front yard of the church. they came down, they actually had music, and they did their first dance. One of our fellow DJ friends posted a picture of doing something similar to that, where they were doing sound for that first dance in front of the church from the front seat of their car. iPad, little mixer in that, and they were doing a sound system. That's the extreme in micro wedding, where basically it's the front system. We've talked with Brian and Jay a couple of weeks ago about doing micro systems, or it's a backseat to haul to a small event. I think we may see this. We may be seeing 3 to 4 hour receptions where there's virtually no dancing. It's going to be that cocktail time and the ceremony, the cocktail time dinner, and they're going to have a little, and it may do a couple of spotlight dances, and there's your day. Be flexible in your thought process, because you may have this becoming a thing, because there are couples who talking to a couple of people who had weddings that they were going to initially they were going to move their dates to a different date, and they said, to heck with it. We don't know when this is going to happen. They're going to go and get justice of the peace, and their May wedding date, which was going to be big, is now they're just pretty much gone. They're going to go that route. So it's a really difficult time to predict what's going to happen accurately. You've got to be flexible. And right now, it's seeming that concept, the front seat system or the back seat micro system wedding, might be something that we're going to see in 2020 and maybe even in 2021 as we continue to go ahead. So be a little bit flexible with that. And I wanted to hit here is we've seen many pictures of Rachel and different DJs who have been playing. Superfly has done this too, where they're playing in a retail space, in a clothing shop, clothing department store, what have you. You may find opportunities as businesses or parts of communities are kind of starting to open up. There might be opportunities for you to go and just offer sound support or doing sound on the main street of a town. You get a town of 2,000 people, and they want to maybe do again, here's where that connection with the Chamber of Commerce is important. They might want to bring people to downtown a little bit for their shopping and make it a pleasant shopping experience. There might be opportunities for this. Yes, obviously creating something that's going to have a large gathering of people is not conducive, but having the music so it's covering a large area of downtown in a smaller community might be appealing. Again, reach out to your local Chamber of Commerce, talk to them, become a member, and really see how you can help serve them, because there's going to be opportunities to come up, and we aren't even thinking about what these opportunities are. They're going to pop up, and if they have your name and such in the top there, and they're going to say, you know what, is there something we could do here? And if you're able to do it and be flexible and make it work, it could be a good opportunity to improve your branding or your presence within the community. Granted, there's not a lot of money involved, but right now, doing something to improve that branding and your business in that community is probably worth more than a lot of money or a lot of paychecks you could possibly getting at this time. So let's go to a couple of comments here from the video. We've got some coming in here on Facebook. Yep, I just here's one coming in on Facebook. I just did a wedding this past weekend, front seat one, speakers and 2 songs. Yeah, that could be what a micro wedding is. It could be a cocktail the whole time, cocktail ceremony, and a cocktail in the backyard of somebody's house. Do the for that. I used to backseat driving, backseat DJing, David. That might be what we are and to do. FM transmitter to the funeral home. Yeah, David, that's a great idea. This is something we actually see some of our funeral homes doing, is having FM transmitters, and then they can go when they do the graveside service, everybody can stay in their car, and then the officiant can go and the pastor, priest, what have you, can go and do the things in cars. People can stay safe and they can be part of the service and such. And creative ideas like that are going to be the future. I could see us doing weddings where we're doing weddings instead of doing them in the church, we're doing them in the park of the church. Church services have been going that direction. So if you have the tools to be able to be an assistance of that, like that FM transmitter, that could go a long way. Or even just setting up the sound support and broadcasting over that parking lot. Putting speakers, 4 speakers can go a long, long way when it comes to doing sound over parking lot. So David, it's a great idea, and that flexibility for being able to hopefully serve people, help people out, get your name out there a little bit. And if you can make a few dollars in the process, it's a win-win-win across the board. So, well, I just wanted to go and throw a few ideas out there. Be flexible. think about how you can take this opportunity to work it for your advantage of your business and for your family, and the ultimate, was so you'll be ready when we get out of this situation. We may be in it for a while, so that's why we have to come up with some ideas that may not generate a ton of money. We have to live a little bit tighter than we probably would have on a typical year, but if we can survive this, I think once we get beyond this, that we're going to be able to, there's going to be two different levels of DJs that are going to come out of this. A lot of DJs we're going to lose a lot of our DJ friends. There's no question about it. But then you're going to have the people who are starting up and are coming in green because they're just looking at a way to make a couple of bucks. And then you're going to have those who came through, worked on their business, worked on their skill, were there to serve their community, got their name out there. They're going to be the ones that are going to be busy coming into summer 2021, hopefully, and beyond. So, broadcast stream, Mike. I don't know if it's choppy. YouTube is the YouTube, Facebook. Mike's mentioning it's choppy out there. I don't know if it's that way on YouTube. It's looking good here, so I couldn't tell you for sure. I do not know. So, once again, thank you for being with us. Dan and I will be back here at the top of the hour. We're going to be getting into that moving from to a part-time position within the industry, and talking about some of the little tools to do that and some tips and such to make that a situation where it'll be good for you, your business, and your clients. And that will be our plan for that. So again, you can go out to djntv.com/chill. You can actually pop out there right now if you want to go hang out for a little while, and we will catch you at the top of the hour. Thanks for watching, everybody.